Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to Faithful Dogs. I'm Ted H6 of Ted Talks Ball and 49ers fan, the faithful side. This is Big Mike from the Man Cave 10. He
What's
is
going
the
on?
Dogs, the Cleveland Browns, the Dog side, coming to you every Thursday, sometimes at 5 p.m. Eastern, sometimes at 5:30, and today at 5:30. So, Mike, it's been a while since we've streamed. Missed a couple weeks while I was away for vacation. Haven't caught up since we lost to the Ravens, beat the Commanders, and lost to the Rams to end out the season. The 49ers, that is.
Yeah. Well, it's been a long couple weeks, but the outcome is we're both in the playoffs, and that's really all that matters.
No doubt about it.
And you got the number one seed, so I mean, I know, Red Jet, her and her putting it all down and thinking it's all bad. Her ass is over there not being optimistic at all. But again, you guys got nothing to worry about. I don't. The more and more I look at these teams over there, the only team I like is the Lions against you guys, and that's it. And I still think you guys win. I just think the Lions have the best chance.
Interesting. I have different teams that I sweat in the NFC. Let's see here. The Rams, number one for me. I do think the Rams will beat the Lions because
Really?
kind of same reason why I'm fading the Dolphins defense. The Lions D is not great, and neither is the Dolphins D. Plus, the Dolphins D is pretty banged up too.
Oh yeah, that's really why the Dolphins. Plus, they're playing in like -5 weather come to Arrowhead.
Yeah, and Tua doesn't have a lot of cold weather experience. It's kind of interesting to see some of these matchups. I'm kind of a little bit of a conspiracy theorist at heart. I definitely dig in on those things. We'll come back to that. Let's catch up with the audience here real quick. We got Bebop Jones in the house coming to us from Bethlehem, PA. Bebop says, "Woot woot, go 49, go Niners." Red Jet, as you mentioned in the chat, saying, "Hey chat." Again, says Ted Mike, back at it. Watching on both channels. Yeah, we are streaming to both channels. So if you could like and subscribe on both channels, if you're on a browser, it's pretty easy just to open up another tab. Watch us both at the same time. Just make sure you mute one or the echo can get a little bit confusing. But we really appreciate that. Red Jet says Showtime. Jimmy Perez in the house says, "Sup, Ted and Mike." What's up, Jimmy? Laugh my ass off. Damn the receipts. Yeah,
That's right, Red Jet. Got them all.
So do I. I'm definitely the receipt guy for sure. I was pulling some on the Josh Allen haters earlier this week. PFF had him as the highest rated quarterback for the 2023 season. And I don't think, PFF, they're I like to say they're not trash, but they're not far from it. But still, I take every data point with a grain of salt and, use them all to come up. They had Josh Allen first, they had Dak second, they had Lamar third, and they had Brock Purdy as number 4. So that was kind of interesting.
Yeah, I don't know about all that.
Who do you have ranked as the best quarterbacks for 2023?
Listen, Josh Allen did the thing, but I don't know about him being number one. I definitely don't think Lamar is over Brock Lamar's done some things, but I feel like the beginning of the season should matter. And dude, he just wasn't it at all. People have their moments. Brock was great beginning of the year, came to December, and then he hit some road bumps a little bit, but it wasn't something that I would say, oh, he fell off. The Ravens game was the end all be all for all this, and I can't do that. So Brock's definitely up there. Again, Josh, it's because he does it all on his own. That's why. He doesn't believe in his own damn team sometimes. But now, look what they've done. In the last 4 weeks, they've used James Cook. holy shit. We know how to run the ball all of a sudden, and it's not Josh Allen doing it. I mean,
Big
what a
game James,
revelation
they
that
call
is.
him. Or when he's really on a tear, they call him Jimothy. I like that play on Timothy. Real quick, we got Silly Fun Guy in the house. He's a Rams fan, but he is actually pretty cool. He also usually brings some good dad jokes, so looking forward to those. Edgar Scully in the house, and what's up, Ted and everybody? Welcome. And we got this is Mike from the Man Cave 10, and like I said, he's a Browns fan, and Carcast has his own channel, so make sure you check him out. Carcast 49ers, and then everybody's just kind of saying hi, and there we go. Hit the like and subscribe, everybody. We appreciate it. So for the playoffs, the team in the NFC that I fear the most, and I don't fear them a lot, I just fear them the most. Like you said, I don't think there's anybody.
Who's your number one threat? Who's your number one threat?
Rams.
Really?
Rams. Yeah, I want the Eagles in the divisional round. I want them to come to Levi's, and I want to send them out. And I think they seem like the weakest team right now. I don't think they'll make it. I think the Bucs are going to beat them. And you picked the Bucs last night, didn't you?
Yeah, I'm all for the Bucs.
Yeah, I think the Bucs. I mean, Baker's rib. That's my only thing. QB is playing with a busted rib. That's a little bit rough.
Yeah. That is the thing. I mean, we saw it in the national championship if you watched it. Michael Penix, once his ribs started hurting him, he couldn't turn and actually put anything on the ball or be accurate with it because of his ribs.
Justin Fields, too, against Bama.
Yep.
Yeah. So, yeah, no, it's a huge deal for QBs. But other than Baker's rib, I like the Bucs. Then I agree with you. Well, I don't know that I agree that Green Bay will beat the. I don't know if I pick Green Bay, but that's the team I fear second after the Rams.
Now let me guess why.
Because of Jordan Love, and because they've been getting it done without Christian Watson, he's coming back, and they've been getting it done without Aaron Jones, and he's back. And Aaron Jones is like a CMC type of back. I mean, he's not CMC, but he's not far. I'll say he's not far from CMC.
You know the underwriting of it all and why you're really scared of them is because they're the wild card, the legit wild card. You don't know what's going to happen. You have no clue because they shouldn't be here. They legit should not be in that position. And if they come out and start firing away, who's going to be ready? Nobody.
Yeah, I mean, I think the Cowboys could beat them. I haven't made a pick yet, as far as make a formal pick. But, I just don't think the Cowboys can beat us. So, like, if Green Bay does get by the Cowboys, then I fear Green Bay more than I fear the Cowboys, coming to Levi's. I just feel like Jordan Love, like coming into the last week of the season, Dak had 32 TDs. Purdy had 31 and Jordan Love had 30. And he's thrown to like Romeo Dobbs, and Christian Watson is a great second year receiver, but he's a second year receiver, and
nobody over there.
Nobody. And then Aaron Jones was out forever. Now he's back. They got AJ Dillon as a real powerful, good thunder to Aaron Jones's lightning type of.
I think
they got a good defense if they're healthy. They had some troubles with what's their star corner's name? Jair Alexander. He's one of the best in the biz. And I guess he was a healthy scratch not too long ago. Something was going on with him. But if they can smooth out over, get him playing well, their defense is sneaky good. They got Lavondre Campbell, is that his name? Their inside linebacker. I remember he was real good against us. And they got is Preston Smith still in, or did he get hurt for the season? I don't know. He definitely got hurt. I don't know if he's out for the season. That's a big one if he is.
He might be, yeah. But I mean, you got
they got the young guy too, who's really good. Second or third year, DN.
I want to say something that you might have said, but most people say. How do you determine when a quarterback really is somebody? When they do it with nobody.
Right. And
And
that's
that's
why
what
I
J-Lo
respect.
is doing.
I was going back and forth with Bobby G on the timeline about Lamar, because I do feel like there are better actual like quarterbacks than Lamar, but like the total package and what he's doing it with now that Mark Andrews has been out for a while, pretty damn impressive to do it with Isaiah Likely. Again, a great second-year tight end, but a second-year tight end.
Yeah.
Silly fun guy never fails to amaze. What do you
That's a good
call a whale with no pants? Free Willy.
That's right.
Going
Free to
commando.
Willie.
Reminds me of that Seinfeld episode when Kramer decides to do that. That's pretty funny. So let's see here. What else we got? We got Bebop saying, "Can't stop, won't stop. We in the dance." Well, if all goes right, if we stay healthy, I don't see why we shouldn't be. But staying healthy, I said it earlier this season. I said I didn't think we'd win the Super Bowl because I didn't think we'd be healthy enough. Because last year, when we entered the playoffs, we were actually pretty damn healthy. We were obviously missing Trey Lance. We're obviously missing Jimmy G. But we had Purdy, and Purdy kind of played better anyway. So if he were to stay healthy, probably don't miss those two cats. And then we were missing Emmanuel Mosley, was the only big loss. But like Deommodore Lenoir had stepped up and was playing well. He's still playing great. He was our best corner in the playoffs last year. And now, Charvarius Ward didn't like the gauntlet being dropped or whatever, and he stepped it up this year. He is leading the league in pass breakups this year. I have that list somewhere. And I was wondering to myself when I was reading that list, and maybe you can help me here. But like when you total PBUs, is that totally separate from interceptions? Or do interceptions count as pass breakups? I wasn't sure.
Yeah, I would think they would, but there's a whole category for interceptions. So maybe that's why they don't put it in there. But you broke up the pass, but you just caught the ball. I mean, to me, that they should be one and the same.
Yeah, it seems like it, but I get the feeling since it is a separate stat. Let's see here. Here it is. Sorry, it didn't say PBUs, but I think that's what it meant. It said passes defended, which basically that says PBU to me. Charvarius Ward, 23. Darius Williams, the former Ram, now is he a Dolphin? Where is he now? Oh, he's at the Jags, right? Darius Williams? Yeah. I knew it was somewhere in Florida. He's at 19. 19. Paulson Adebo from the Saints, 18. Ben St. Juste, 17. And Benjamin. I remember saying that he was out last year, went out during the game against the Commanders. I was like, nobody cares about Ben St. Juste. I'm like, he's a pretty decent corner. So here he is. Tyreek Stevenson, never heard of this guy. No idea who he is. 16. Devin Witherspoon, we all know. Seahawks, number 5 overall pick, 16. Slay, 15. And Deron Bland, 15. And that's why I was asking, if Deron Bland is, the bottom of this list, but he's got, I think he's got 12 or 13. It must be separate because I think he had
12 or 13 interceptions.
Interceptions, exactly. So unless he only had one PBU by it, so I think it must be separate. Randy Elite Daytona in the house. What's up, guys? Almost done working. Don't get caught at work. It's not worth it. Just listen, don't watch. Everybody's saying hi. There we go. Red Jet, RJ, we're having the top QBR almost all season long in his second year. Yeah, Purdy, he had some nice stats this year for sure. Hopefully I recorded those. It was, I think it was, I'm blanking on the reporter who it was, Nick Wagner maybe. Who posted them up. I'll have to go back through my bookmarks and take a look and see. But it was definitely pretty impressive. Because here we go. It wasn't just QBR. All right, now I clicked it. And, I hate that now. Like how your book works, you click them and they pop up over on the side, and then I think they're gone, and I'm scrolling back down to them. Here we go. So Purdy's final 2023 stats: QBR 72.8 first, passing yards 4280 fifth, yards per attempt 9.6 first, TD passes 31 third. So he dropped. He was second the week on, but then didn't play the last week, so that hurt him.
Yeah.
TD to interception ratio, this is a pretty important one. 9th, 2.8, 9th. And that's a lot because of the 4 he threw against the Ravens. We can talk more about that. Completion percentage, 69.4. Nice. That's second. CPOE, 2.5%. That's 4th. Off-target percentage, 12.9%, 4th. Yards per dropback, 8.78, first. Yards per completion, 13.9, first. Air yards per attempt, 8.0, 6th. Yak, 6.36 per completion, second. So even though none of the top Yak guys were 49ers this year, still the group man, would be second in Yak as a group of weapons. Passer rating 113.0, first. EPA per dropback 0.26, first. Explosive passes 20 plus yards 72, first. That's the big one for me, was the deep balls. Purdy was nails with the deep balls, and that's the part I never thought we'd see. So yeah, I mean, good for Brock. That's a good season.
Hell of a year.
Hell of a year, no doubt about it. See if I have those Yak monsters too. Yeah, here we go. Most yards after catch this season. This is per NFL stats. CeeDee Lamb 680, Amon-Ra Brown 668, Rashee Rice, Chiefs 654, Tyreek Hill 652, Breece Hall, the first running back on there, Jets 649, Puka 640, Rashad White, the Bucks running back 611, David Njoku 599, got a Brown on there. Nico Collins 549, Texans, and Jamar Chase 541. Obviously, the Bengals.
He did that shit without Burrow.
Largely, yeah, because I think Jamar was injured. Well, no, at least against us. When Joe was playing well, I think Jamar was playing. Like against us, when Joe touched us, Jamar Chase definitely played that game. So
I mean, if you look at it, like you said, Njoku's on there. That dude did it with 4 different quarterbacks.
Yeah, that's insane. So did Stefanski. That's why you were saying you thought Stefanski should be coach of the year.
He's there. There's no way you don't. That dude, 23% of the roster.
Come on, man. DeMeco Ryans.
No, I don't care. No.
I mean, a rookie coach with a rookie QB. I mean, that's tougher than a bunch of QBs. Having a rookie.
Now when you're doing it with XFL quarterbacks.
All went down like quite a few games.
DTR is a rookie quarterback, and we had him. We had an XFL quarterback, and then we had a dude that came off the couch.
Freaking Flacco. Oh, and then Bobby G accused me of hating Lamar. And I felt like I wanted to say I'd rather have Lamar than Purdy. But I don't want to say that on the timeline because people, all things equal, if Lamar was as cheap, I don't want Lamar's paycheck. But I think, straight up, I'd take Lamar over Purdy for sure. And he's like, oh, you hate Lamar. And I felt like I wanted to say, no, I hate Flacco. That's what I really hate because he beat us in the Super Bowl. Lamar beat us in the regular season in 2019, but we still got the number 1 seed. We still made it to the Super Bowl. They didn't, it was the Chiefs that beat us in the Super Bowl. That's who I hate.
Well, listen,
and I hate teams that beat me. It's hard to hate teams. Even my most hated team, the Seahawks, they're falling. They're falling because we're 5-0 in the last 5 games against them. They're the sweep talks. Like, how do you hate a team that you swept 2 years in a row, including a 3-game sweep in 2022? Like, it's hard.
There's something coming for the Seahawks. Something crazy is about to happen.
Well, I mean, Pete Carroll, getting canned essentially. I think they're gonna keep him around in some capacity. Yeah,
to
help pass the knowledge because probably no one else is going to hire him anyway. So it's not like they're going to keep him from anything. So
I don't know. I don't know why somebody wouldn't hire him.
Because he's like 72.
I mean, he's 73, but he's out there throwing the ball. He's
Oh
involved. I mean,
God,
the
I
dude's a
can't
good
stand that.
coach. He's a good coach.
He's
But
a very good coach.
There's something that's going to happen in
Like,
Seattle.
I mean,
You
there
know?
are a lot of Niner fans who are like, "Oh, this is bad news for the Niners." That he's, because like some of the, I don't know, man. I think their problem is their GM. I think it's Schneider. I think it's John Schneider. I don't think any coach could have done a lot. I mean, maybe they could have made the playoffs this year with a younger, better coach.
Yeah.
But I don't think they were going to make a lot of noise in the playoffs, no matter who their coach was with that roster. Because here's the deal. Jaron Reed, I one of my receipts I pulled, I've been pulling a few the last couple of weeks. And one I pulled was a Seahawks reporter talking about Jaron Reed, or, he was at a presser before the season started. And he's like, last year, Seahawks were 30th against the run. That won't happen again. And I quote to it, and I was like, Seahawks, 28th against the run. So he was right. They weren't 30th, but come on. 28th is putrid.
Close enough.
Out of 30. Yeah, exactly. I mean, tomato. It might even be worse, and the other teams were different this year or whatever. So, anyway, bottom line is I'm not convinced that they'll do better, at least not with their first try at coach. I think Pete Carroll is a pretty good coach, and I think his hands were tied with that roster. Like, and when you got when you're 28th against the run, the NFL team's just gonna run on you. You run first. You run until they make you stop running. That's the rule of the NFL.
Listen, nope. That's why I wanted to strangle Stefanski so many times, because he didn't use Chubb the way he should have. But the Seahawks thing is interesting, and I had my boy Botkins. He sent me a video, and I was watching it, and it's about Pete Carroll and Jim Harbaugh, and it goes back to Stanford, USC.
Yeah.
When Jim put up 50 on him, and he went for 2 to do it, and ever since then they've been battling. And Harbaugh came to you guys because he wanted to beat up on Pete. Right. What if Harbaugh says, "Hey, I'll come to Seattle"?
That would be an upgrade. That would be an upgrade. I would be bummed if Harbaugh went there.
Pete's face.
Well, it's not just Pete's face. It's also Jed York's face, our owner.
Yeah, that too.
Because our owner chose Trent Baalke, the dumb GM, who's now the GM of the Jags. See how that's going.
Yeah.
So, that's what happened. Was there was a power struggle, and Jed sided with Trent and forced Harbaugh out, and we've been like paying the price ever since. Been cursed ever since. Harbaugh would be a big step up, in my opinion, not over Pete Carroll's career, but over Pete Carroll 2023, 2024, or whatever. Current Pete Carroll. Randy says, I don't know anyone can be confident about winning the Super Bowl. It's impossible. Don't even expect the Niners to win. I kind of said this yesterday to Aaron on First and Ted, and I was like, the thing about Super Bowl is it's really like more about entertainment than football. The whole thing, the whole media hype.
It in the name.
The 2 weeks, yeah. Well, and even like the NFL is not a sports league; it's an entertainment, or a sports company. It's an entertainment company.
Yes.
And so, you're kind of with me on this whole Tim Hat stuff, because, like, I don't know. I feel like we got jammed against the Chiefs. I feel like the Chiefs got jammed the next year against Brady in the first half. And I have no doubt that the refs would have jammed the Chiefs in the second half if they needed to. But it was pretty much over after the first half in Tampa. And like the Rams got all those calls to beat the Bengals. Now, the one I don't see it as much for was last year with the Chiefs and Eagles. There was clearly that call at the end on Bradbury that the Eagles all cried about. But like, if you're not an Eagles fan, you're like, hey, dude, Bradbury had at least 2 other clear PIs that weren't called. So if you get called for 1 out of 3 PIs, like, how are you going to bitch about that?
That's not when I think it happened. I think the calls for Mahomes happened the game before that.
Oh, to get him there.
Yeah, that's when the shit calls were happening. And
the way he was like ran out of bounds, and
that was.
Yeah, that was absurd. No, that was. I agree. But usually it happens in the Super. I was saying, like, I was seeing pattern 3 Super Bowls in a row. I didn't really see the other thing. Also, if you're an Eagles fan and you're claiming refs in the Super Bowl, like, What about Lane freaking Johnson false starting every goddamn play? And they're like, the mind of a center, the mind of a center. Craig Olsen, I want to strangle that guy every time he says that. Because the ball is in the center's hand. He's taking his first step, and it's so clear. And they won't call him. They won't, and they don't call him for holding either. But that's less reprehensible, because that kind of happens every play on O-line.
Yeah,
but
it's every play.
But the false start is so obvious, especially if you just freeze frame it. It's but whatever. What are you going to do? Anyway, yeah, I mean, like, I feel like we could get there and still lose because we're not in the script, and people are saying like, oh, look, it's the Niners colors and Ravens colors and the Super Bowl thing that came out, before the season started. And, all this stuff, it makes you wonder, so if it ends up Niners Ravens, I don't know, I guess we'll see. But if the refs do some funky stuff, it's frustrating. Even if you're on the winning side, I don't know. For me, I have a conscience. So like, I don't want to win that way. I want at least a fair shake. I don't want, the refs helping my team to a ring or to help get there to win a ring or any of that. But I don't want to get screwed either. I'm tired of that for sure.
Listen, if we're going along the script side of these things, you know what the best script would be to write right now for all this?
Tyreek against the Chiefs.
No. Well, I mean, that's whatever, but I'm talking about Super Bowl wise.
No, but I'm just talking about McCarthy against Green Bay.
That's crazy. Stafford and Goff going at each other. That's crazy. The possibility of
Stafford versus Goff.
Ravens.
Wait, Stafford versus Goff? Like, come on, you don't think these are what they wanted?
I mean, Green Bay and Dallas over that whole thing the last time they seen each other.
Well, and just the fact that McCarthy coached Green Bay and got a ring there. Now he's at Dallas. Like, it's all these revenge scenarios. Yeah.
And listen, if that's how we're gonna go, right?
Yeah.
Listen to this script. If I'm the NFL and I'm writing it, I want the most watched Super Bowl ever, right? That's what I want. I don't care about any of this other shit. I want two teams that went 0-16 before. Two teams that never won a Super Bowl, let alone been in one. I want Cleveland, Detroit.
That would be pretty cool.
Would watch that?
Yeah, I mean, if it's not us, I would love to see. I mean, because I've always said I respect both fan bases. Like,
I'm not
especially
to be biased. I'm just saying, even if I wasn't a Cleveland fan, that is crazy to me because to see someone come off the couch, lead them there, whatever. But it's just more about the teams, the organizations and what they've gone through, and now all of a sudden they're in the Super Bowl facing each other for the first time ever. Like that would be something. That would be a script to write.
No doubt about it.
I get where you're at with these scripts. I get where you see different things happening. And you're like, oh man, just like the Browns could face Baltimore in the AFC Championship game. The Browns could have if things are written right, and this would take the Steelers to beat the Bills, which is, gosh, I don't know, man. The Steelers beat the Bills and the Dolphins win and the Browns win. The Browns have a home playoff game. First time since, 95 or something? I mean,
here's my problem with Detroit. No D, and like we talked some, coming into the playoffs about rest versus rust. And I hate that saying. I've decided I hate that saying. I don't know if you heard this, but it's like rust comes from rest. So it's not rest versus rust. It's rest versus injuries, right? And Dan Campbell chose not to rest, and now they got no Laporta. And I think that's a big thing for Detroit. I feel like he's their second weapon after Amon-Ra St. Brown, especially when it comes to the red zone. I think that's going to hurt them a lot. I mean, they got Reynolds, they got JMO, but JMO's, still
I think
kind
they're
of
going to lean heavy on the run game.
Yeah, I mean, they've obviously got Jahmyr Gibbs and Monty's back, right?
Yep.
Yeah, so that's big. Bebop says broom for the sweep. I think that might be old. Shanny greater than Harbaugh. I think so. I think just from a perspective of Kyle calls the plays, Harbaugh doesn't. Harbaugh always has an OC and a DC. And Harbaugh's DC was Greg Roman. And the Ravens finally got rid of him. And look at their offense flourish this year as soon as they got rid of that POS. So, yeah, I think Kyle's a little bit better. I think Harbaugh, is a better rah-rah guy. Maybe a better leader of men. But the fact that Kyle took a dumpster fire and did this, whereas Harbaugh walked into like a nearly complete roster, added a few pieces, and went on a run, like it was largely in place the year before he got there. Other than Alden Smith was probably the biggest piece, a safety, the Bruce, the fullback woman hitter, awful guy, Bruce Miller was his name, terrible guy. But he was a good piece nonetheless. Well, until all that stuff happened. So yeah. So anyway, yeah. I mean, I think the Cowboys are playing good ball. I think they're tough at home. I think it'll be tough for Green Bay to go to Dallas and win, but I think it'll be just as tough for Dallas to come to Levi's and beat us. Green Bay scares me. The Rams scare me the most. Detroit, like I said, they're D and missing Laporta. Maybe they'll get Laporta back by the time they get to us. I don't know. That would make them a little scarier to me. But really, the teams I fear the most, I mean, you guys, the Browns are probably my second team I fear the most. And obviously, I got to say the Ravens because of the way they handled us on Christmas Day. Now, I will say, even still, like with the Ravens, I think if we played them 10 times, I think we win 6 or 7. I don't think that I still would bet on us in the Super Bowl against the Ravens if I believed that the refs would give us a fair shake. I think that what happened against them was a lot luck. Not that the balls got tipped, but that they got intercepted. Usually tip balls fall harmlessly to the ground, and somehow 3 of them ended up as picks. Purdy obviously had one bad pick, and then the 5th one was Sam Darnold. Anyway, so those are the teams I fear the most. Ravens, Browns, Rams, Packers. Cowboys are not far after Packers because I think the Cowboys are a much better team. It's just we own the Cowboys. We freaking own the Cowboys.
You do.
I guess they say till you don't. I get it, but I don't think they match up well against us just because of the way we play tough and they're more of a finesse team.
My thing with the Cowboys is their defense keeps getting hurt. Like Stephon Gilmore, if he's out, if that's it for him, that whole secondary is trash except for Bland. That's it. That's all you got. You got nobody else back there. Micah Parsons gets to the quarterback, but he isn't. It's just I don't know. That team keeps getting injured, and it's getting worse and worse for them. That's why I believe Green Bay can get ahead of them. I think that game is going to be a lot closer than people think. Granted, it's in Jerry's world, but come on now. It's when you overlook somebody is when it happens the most. See, as a Browns fan, it's already a W. As Bobby G says, this season is already a W. We're 11-6 with a beat-up roster. We're in the playoffs. We're right there for the division at the end. I mean, to me, my expectations is whatever anymore. Hey, I would love to go.
Pollard's out. Bebop says
Tony got hurt too.
Who's Watson?
Christian, the Green Bay wide receiver.
Oh, he's still out. He's still okay. They thought he might be back. Okay, got it.
And J Love is still doing it with him.
Okay, that's kind of a wash then. There, I mean, there's star for star. If you ask me,
they got some people. Everybody's kind of beat up.
There you go, Christian Watson there. Yeah.
But
real quick, not Red Jet. Silly Fungi had another dad joke. I wanted to circle back to it because it got buried here. Where'd it go? Also, want to say hi to Jess, Chris Hansen in the house from that To Catch a Predator show. It's obviously a spoof account, but he's a good audience member, so I like him here. Jess was on yesterday, and just for her, I updated my Purdy ranking this week, even though he didn't play. I had him at 3 to 6 last week, and this week I bumped him down to 2 to 5 in the league. So that's officially on the timeline, Jess, in case you were worried about that. Wanted to make sure you knew because she hates when I do these rankings, and so does my co-host from yesterday. So it just spurred when I saw her in the audience. I was like, I got to do it now. So Silly Fungi said, "What do you call a snowman with a 6-pack? An abdominal snowman." Put him on Baywatch. Probably wouldn't last long though. Let's see here. So what else? I mean, as far as the playoffs. So yeah, I mean, so there's some crazy storylines, right? I mean,
Yeah.
you got Tyreek against the Chiefs. You got McCarthy against his former team, and then like you said, some bad blood from a couple of years back too.
Mhm.
It's a little further back, but do you recall who the Des Bryant catch no catch was against? Was that it wasn't against Green Bay, was it?
Yeah.
It
Wasn't it?
was Des Bryant.
And then also the Hail Mary that Rodgers threw. Wasn't that against Green Bay?
No, that was against the Seahawks, I want to say.
Was it? I thought he did too, because he did one against the Seahawks.
Oh,
I thought
okay,
there was
and
one
against Dallas.
Dallas.
Maybe, yeah, maybe there are two. Maybe there are two.
I thought there was another one against
Sounds
Dallas.
about right. I'll go with you. I'll go with you. And then obviously the big one for me is Stafford. Like, here's what I was saying, along with this whole tin hat, stuff. What do you think about this conspiracy theory, Mike? So Niners are driving at the end of the Rams game, and all we needed was a Jake Moody game-winning field goal, which we know how rare those are. But then Darnold fumbles the ball away. Like, I think the Rams, I've been saying I thought the Rams wanted to go to Dallas because I think they probably looked at Dallas and Detroit.
With Dallas.
Yeah, and I think they look at Dallas and Detroit as like probably, they're both indoors, they're both turf, they're both, I think they probably looked at as just as tough an opponent to beat and just as much likelihood of winning or losing, but they didn't sure as shit want to lose to Goff. Because then it's like all the casuals be like, yeah, you traded 2 first-round picks, for Stafford.
You got a Super Bowl. I don't want to
I
hear
know
it.
they got the ring. I know they got the ring. But I guarantee you there'll be people saying that. People will be saying that, Mike. There's that contingent that, the
They
casual.
need to worry about Stafford being at his last year, because this might be it for him. This might be his last.
That's what I said last year, but he keeps coming back strong. I don't see him quitting anytime soon.
It could be, though. It could be his last hurrah. Could be the end of it.
Did you hear, speaking of Stafford, that his wife was incensed that there's like this whole thing of like, don't wear Stafford jerseys to the game?
Oh, yeah, there is.
Like this whole petition in Detroit, and she is livid about it. And it's like, they're just like, hey, man, we love Stafford, just not today, just not this Sunday.
And that's what she's got to understand. This isn't a regular season game.
Yeah.
This is not. If it was a regular season, they'd probably flood it with Stafford jerseys, do a big thing for him and everything. This is the damn playoffs. We're not going to applaud you for what you did here because we don't want you to do shit here. That's the whole problem. Why do fans or even wives, whoever, get mad at shit like that? This is a bigger game than it would be, again, if it was regular season. Granted, yes, he did all that he did there. It's great there. Everybody loved him, but you cannot sit here and put on jerseys of some guy that you're playing against and be like, yeah, this is okay. No. Hell no, it's not. Just like, do you think if the Browns go to Baltimore in the playoffs, that there's people there with Flacco jerseys on, cheering for him when he goes out there? Yay, Joe Flacco. No. The only person wearing a Flacco jersey in there is going to be his dad. That's it. His parents, his kids. No one else is going to wear no Flacco jersey to that game.
That's funny. And we have some experience with that here in San Francisco. It was a while back in the 90s, but when Joe went to KC and then we played the Chiefs, and there were a lot of people rooting for Joe Montana, and a lot of people like me, like that were like had already made the switch to Steve Young. We're like, come on, man, like he's gone. It's hard. You can't get too mad when it's a great like Joe. He's a 3-time Super Bowl champ. Hard to get too mad at him. Or 4-time Super Bowl champ.
What game were you playing them at though?
Where were we?
When you guys played them, everybody was doing it.
It was at KC too.
But it was a regular season.
Yeah, at Arrowhead. Yeah, it wasn't the Super Bowl.
That's the biggest difference here. That's what I'm
Joe
saying.
Didn't make it to a Super Bowl with KC, so.
No, but I mean, regular season, yes. Flood the stadium, have big flags, Stafford, do whatever you do for halftime or at the beginning of the game. You're not doing this during the playoffs, especially when you want to go win a damn Super Bowl. You're not cheering for somebody else. Just not doing it. And
Kelly Stafford is such a Karen anyway. She's like just the worst. I don't know if you may not know this as not being a Niner fan, but during the, I don't know if it was, I think it was not the NFC Championship. I think it was week 18 when we played the Rams and they could have knocked us out of the playoffs in 2021. And Kelly Stafford bought like a couple sections of tickets and gave them away to Rams fans to keep from being just like massively overwhelming 49ers. Because like we call it Levi's South because we always have home field advantage at SoFi. And Kelly Stafford whipped out her checkbook and bought like 200 seats or something crazy like that, and gave them all away to Rams fans to make sure that they weren't so badly outnumbered. And we ended
something like that's cool if you want to do that, but not.
Yeah.
I mean, I get it because she doesn't want it to be a home game for you guys, but do not get mad that Detroit Lions fans are in the playoffs and don't want to wear or shouldn't be wearing Stafford jerseys.
Yeah, no doubt about it. And they've been traveling really well too this year. They've been, I mean, I saw a bunch when I was over in the islands, which is unusual because I don't think I've ever talked to somebody. Yeah.
That's because they're coming out the woodwork now. They're usually too embarrassed to wear stuff.
Yeah, probably.
They've been Lions fans for 30 years and they're just not like, hey.
It's cool now.
And that's what it is. But see, that's the difference between us and Lions fans. I will proudly wear my Browns gear 0-16 and not give a shit and tell y'all to F off.
There you go.
Don't care. But again, that's because we're behind our team 100% no matter what. It doesn't matter. Like, you know, Red Jet being the way she's been and not being optimistic and everybody's saying it's impossible to win Super Bowl and I don't think we're going to. You can't be like that. As far as I'm concerned, Browns are winning every damn game. I don't care who we face. That's how it's working. If we lose, guess what? Again, I still think it's a W. For you guys, Super Bowl is your goal. That is it for y'all. That is where you all need to be. If you fall short of that, that's a problem because you guys have been so close. How many times? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, two times, 5-0, and then 0-2 against the Ravens and Chiefs. Tommy Huxley in the house says, "Hey, Fairy with the visor." Thanks, Tommy. He always says something kind of denigrating when he comes in, but that's fine. It's his usual shtick. McNiner's saying hi. Make sure you check out David McNiner's podcast too. He's got a show as well. He says F Stafford. There you go. I agree. Jared Goof is annoying. Kind of smack him around. Oh my. Hey now. Red Jet chiming in. She says, "I'm only looking at body of work, not being negative, just tired of seeing things almost come to life and then it goes darker." Yeah. No, I mean, Niners, I mean, it's not just the Super Bowls too, man. We've been to like something like 7 NFC championship games since we won a Super Bowl too. There's one in the early 2000s, 3 with Harbaugh, and now 3 with Shanahan. So yeah, so we've been to 7 NFC championship games, and this would be the 8th if we make it again.
You guys got to relish it.
Yeah.
Imagine if you were really in the dark times. Again, I'm going to bring up my fandom here.
There you go.
Imagine going 0-16, 1-15. Imagine not sniffing the playoffs for how many years, let alone a damn championship game. You guys are right there. And I get it. Like I said, Super Bowl win and all be all for y'all. That's what it is. And that's what it should be because I don't see anybody in the NFC putting candle to you guys. Not one bit. I'm not worried about no team over there. Yeah, Stafford and the Rams, they got something brewing, whatever. But again, I think the Lions do get them. I don't think Dan Campbell will have a sniper on the roof or something. That is not happening over there. It's not going down. Somebody's getting hurt and killed in that game.
Sniper on the roof. All
right. I mean, something's going to happen over there.
The dart in the neck. Oh.
Yeah, someone's getting tranked, and it'll be just like, God, what the hell is that?
Funny.
Yeah, what the hell is that movie? I can't think of it right now.
It was
Old School.
Old School. Thank you. Yes.
Yes. He shot himself in the neck. Something's going to happen like that. That's what I don't know. And the Eagles are going to lose to Tampa. I mean, that's almost people are saying that's almost a given now. You know what? I'm telling you right now.
Well, Jalen Hurts is complaining about his finger. Like his
finger. AJ Brown, is he going to play? Yeah. I mean,
he's not, is he? I thought he was.
I don't think so. He got smoked. And here's how you look at this right now. if Eagles lose that game, Nick Sirianni is gone.
Gone.
And you know who's coming in? And this would be the best fit for the man. The hoodie sweatshirt himself.
Oh, interesting. Belichick.
Because look at the setup. They have the upfront defense. I mean, you got everything you want there. He has gotten everything. He has squeezed every bit of everything out of every linebacker and every secondary person he's ever had. They could be no-name dudes, and he squeezed the life out of them, and them boys have became something. Whether they were something when they left, they were something there. And you have good pieces on the offense. That'd be the easiest transition for him. That'd be the easiest.
Yeah.
And the team could actually be something again.
I don't like that.
I know you don't, but I'm just saying that to me, if that's a team he goes to, it'd be them or the Chargers. But I can't see him going to coast with it.
Interesting.
Hey, Denzel Ward will get an interception this week.
There you go.
CJ Stroud's going to try to throw like no other, and I think that Browns defense is going to mess him up.
He had a couple really nice back foot throws in that last game towards the end on that last drive that were really impressive.
He had to do something, and they barely won that game.
They did.
I think the Browns are going to – listen, I don't want to say, but I think they win by double digits. Wow. I don't think it's a blowout like before, but I could see 10 points.
Well, and you look at who the Texans have played, and it's not exactly a murderer's row, right? With the AFC South and their other divisions. Got a new viewer here, Green Collar Tyler.
Now, what's going on?
Howdy,
what's going on, Green?
How you doing? So there's like blue collar, white collar. What's green collar?
That's just all the money. That's higher than all of them.
There you go. I like it.
Or that's that chief, and he,
yeah. Good. I don't know what the hammer stands for though. Niner Ganger, don't bang, boom. That reminds me of Lawrence from Platform 246. I haven't streamed with him. I haven't been doing a lot of streams outside of my. Once I got 5 set a week, I used to be really good about going out and doing a lot of cross pollination, and lately I haven't been as good. Maybe I need to. Maybe that's a good reminder to get some of the old guys together that I've streamed with. We always had good streams, Lawrence and I. Lawrence Jackson Jr., LJJ. Randy Elite Daytona, you are right. Not at all. Randy Ingrades. These guys. So I know we're not up against it. We got about 10 minutes here. Talk to me a little bit about the Browns' last couple games and who you want. You know, if you could pick your next opponent after the Texans. Let's assume the Browns beat the Texans.
Okay.
Oh, you already kind of laid it out. You want it where, you know, you guys somehow get a home game. Obviously, that makes sense.
I would love the home game against Miami. I would absolutely love that.
Yeah, but what are the odds of that? Come on, let's be realistic.
I mean, yes, Steelers. That's the whole problem there. That is the biggest issue is that, but
I don't think that's that big.
Well, to me, it's the bigger one of Miami.
Well,
I think Miami could get the Chiefs.
I'll give you a few reasons. I mean, look, I'm a closet Bills fan. I mean, like, they're my AFC team. I like Josh Allen. I have a buddy, one of my groomsmen for my wedding is a weatherman there. He's buddies with, he was golf buddies with Sean McDermott, actually, which is pretty crazy.
Oh, nice.
But before, you know, aside from that, I just really like Josh Allen a lot. I like the Bills. I always felt bad for them going 0-4 in the Super Bowl. I always felt like it's a big deal to make 4 Super Bowls in a row. And,
it definitely
they get no credit for that. It's almost worse. Some people, it's almost worse than never going. You know, just that's what the Super Bowl is. It's, you don't want to go and lose. Just ask the Eagles. I tried to warn the Eagles. Super Bowl curse is real, and they weren't hearing it. And I think they're starting to believe. So where was I? Oh, beating the Bills. So first of all, think about there've been some stinkers that they've had where nobody would have figured they would lose to the Jets without Aaron Rodgers, and you know there's a few others that were kind of questionable losses, like to questionable opponents. But then more recently, just looking at their last game against the Dolphins, and didn't like 3 of their defenders go down that game, including Taylor Rapp right at the end. So
Douglas, yeah, they had some key players.
Yeah, and they're already missing, as we know, Tre'Davious White, Matt Milano, Daquan Jones. That's been going on for a long time. So, I don't know. And on the flip side, Mason Rudolph, he might be better than Kenny Pickett. And Kenny Pickett
he's definitely better than Kenny Pickett. There's not no might be about it. He's definitely better than Kenny Pickett. Kenny Pickett's like the sixth or seventh best quarterback in the division.
All right, here's something I haven't been keeping up on, so clue me in. What's the status on TJ Watt? I know he got injured in the last game. He's out. That makes it a lot tougher. That makes it a lot tougher not having TJ Watt.
They're going to sneak JJ in there, though, so I don't know.
Are they?
No, he put a tweet out and said, do you think anybody would notice?
Yeah, JJ is a lot bigger. Oh, man. Yeah, that's a bummer. That makes it tougher. But I still, if Josh Allen has one of his games, like I defend him a lot because a lot of his interceptions are arm punts and, it's like a 50-50 ball, 50-plus yards down the field on 3rd and long. Like, I don't begrudge that. The ones I hate are like 2nd down, throw it to the linebacker over the middle on 2nd and 5 or whatever that Jimmy G did a ton of and Purdy did a few of against the Ravens. And, so I don't know. What is everybody favored by? I haven't really been paying attention.
If I look at it, the Pittsburgh's defense is good. They're still going to be good even without TJ. They got some young guys that are real good. Cam Hayward's always there. Minka's doing his thing. Joey Porter Jr. They got some guys. It's Mason Rudolph. It's which one are you going to get? Are you going to get trash ass? Or are you going to get, hey, Mason wants a job? That's
so you should be laying some money on your game then because you're only given 2 points.
Oh, I am. I know.
Wow, that's big. And then the Chiefs only give them 4.5 against the Dolphins. That's probably about right.
Well, you got to think. Usually you get 3 anyways. So
but they got Bills minus 10 against the Steelers. I definitely like the Steelers in 10 points. I do.
You take that bet because of Tomlin.
Because of what?
Mike Tomlin.
Yeah. And just 10 is a ton for a playoff game.
Like, that's the only reason why Bobby G picked the Steelers to win is because of Mike Tomlin.
Cowboys minus 7. That's a lot, too. Lions minus 3. Eagles minus 3. That's the bet. Man, getting bucks and points. that's
and that's great. People are still riding high with the Eagles. Why though?
It's the Baker rib. That's what it is.
Okay, well, what about Jalen Hurts' finger and AJ Brown? I mean, come on.
Yeah,
you got to look at the other side of this.
Finger might be worse than at least a rib. You can shoot it up. A finger, like that's. Yeah.
Listen, Mike Evans is going to eat the Eagles alive.
Yeah.
That dude is going to eat, and then Rashad White. I mean.
Yeah. We just saw he's one of the yak.
And you literally said, yak guys.
Plus, Chris Godwin is a yak guy, too.
Yep.
He didn't show up on the list.
They got some guys over there, and their defense has stepped up big. I mean, here for me, the Browns, they've gotten healthy now. Our secondary is all healthy and back. Del Pitt came off the IR. He's back. I mean, our corners are all healthy. Everybody's coming around. Everybody besides Anthony Walker. The rest of our defense is good. Offensively, seem pretty good. Elijah Moore even came back after that hit. I mean, let's go. This is what I'm saying. The Browns have something crazy working. There's a whole thing. Everybody's believing in this. Oh, well, we can't lose. Nah, listen, I'm not doing that shit. I'm not doing that shit at all.
Randy says
Flacco, you got to fear Flacco. I mean, that's just the dude has not. What has he got to prove?
Nothing.
He's still gonna rip that football and throw that thing down the field. Amari Cooper's still gonna ball out. And Njoku's been doing his thing. And then you got the running backs. There's 3 of them. They're not all high level. They're all just good enough.
There you go. Randy Daytona says Steelers are my AFC team. And I think they're my son's AFC team. I had them all trained up. Like, it's like, go Niners, Niners, yay. Seahawks bad. It's a bad day when the Seahawks win. Did all this stuff, and all of a sudden he's like, I like the Steelers.
You gotta change that to the Browns. What are we doing?
I was like, no, son, you gotta root for the team where you live, or you're gonna be. It's tough. It's tough growing up somewhere, and I don't know. I was always thankful that my dad, being a Cowboys fan from Dallas, didn't raise me as a Cowboys fan, because it's you're doing your kid a disservice. As far as like, I'm like, hey, it's tough, real tough to go see Pittsburgh Steelers games, buddy. And you got to fly across country, or see when they come play out here somewhere. And it's a little shorter, but still a trek unless they're at Levi's. So that could be helping the Steelers too.
Here, make your picks. What do you think this weekend? Wildcard weekend. Who do you got?
I got the Browns.
Okay.
Because I got the Browns and Ravens in the AFC Championship game.
That'd be amazing for me.
I got the Chiefs.
Okay.
I mean, I'm going to go Bills, but just that could be more heart than head. But yeah, I'll go Bills.
All right.
I'm going to say Cowboys beat the Packers. I fear the Packers more. I just don't know that they can beat the Cowboys. I fear them playing us. I don't fear, I don't think the Cowboys fear them that much. Yeah. I think the Cowboys beat the Packers. I think the Rams beat the Lions, though. That's the one.
All right.
Well, we disagree on those. You said Packers. I'm going to say Cowboys. I'm going to say Rams beat Lions for sure. Yeah, I just think Lions D and Laporta.
Laporta is huge. Laporta's a huge one for me, but I still think
it is. And then I'm going Bucks unless Baker just can't throw a ball.
All right.
But even then, maybe who do they have as their back? Oh, tell me it's not.
It's Trask. It's Kyle Trask.
Oh God, it is Trask still. Oh, he's trash.
Trashy Trask. But
terrible. There were some Niners fans who wanted him in that draft. I was like, what are you talking about? Kellen Mond. And, oh God, it's like, terrible. But I don't want them winning another chip though. Steelers. Okay, yeah, gotcha. No, because they have 6 already. Steelers do not need another chip.
See, what bird are you talking about, Green Collar? Are you talking about the Ravens? Or are you talking about the Eagles? Because if you believe in W's, then tell me why you were gift wrapping every W and putting it at the 50 and waiting for every other team to take it. You guys should have lost multiple games.
Oh, that must be Eagles.
Well, if that's what the green stands for, yeah. But
well, and it's that kind of green. It's that Kelly green.
I'm not.
Seahawks green is different than that. That's not Seahawks green.
They literally try to give away every game.
Seahawks have that puke green, Dayglow green.
Seahawks, that's that baby shit green.
Yeah, it's terrible.
That neon highlighter type stuff.
Yeah, I think he is. I think he is a Eagles fan. Cooper disappears like a.
And you know what? I 100% agree with that until now. Because he's never played with a team like this. They don't put it all on him. He just goes out there and plays freely. That's the difference between him being a Raider or being a Cowboy. He's just doing his thing. They're not, he's got to do it. He has to do it. He doesn't. And Njoku would go out there and do it. He knows what it is. And that he even said it. He goes, dude, I feel way different here than I have in any other team.
He's a wide receiver with no pants. Free Cooper. Bills, Chiefs, Browns, Cowtricks, the toilet. I mean, there you go.
And then he picked the Bucks. All right.
The Bucks. Beagles are horrible. Yeah, Eagles are cooked, I'm pretty sure. But I would love to be the ones to bounce them just for payback and all the trash talking they've been talking for a year. Even after we beat them and gave the blueprint on how to beat them. And sure enough, it looks like everybody's followed it.
You could say a lot more if they lost to the Bucks and were bounced right away, though.
Yeah, that's true. Especially Baker.
Yeah.
Good. I mean, there's another Browns legacy. All those 1-15, 0-16 seasons. Draft Baker. He does nothing. He let him go, and now he's balling out for the Bucks.
Well,
Like,
he got mature.
that's
He's
a
not all
tragedy.
cocky and stupid. He's
Doing too many
grown up and he
more
knows.
commercials than touchdown passes. Yeah,
Yeah, and then again, he was on 4 different teams last year. He was on his way out. That
yeah.
was about to be the end for him, and he straightened up, grew the hell up, and said, "Hey, I'm
I
gonna prove
wanted him.
to you."
I wanted him, but the Rams blocked us. I won't use the other word that goes in front of that. They did, because the Rams had no use for him last year. They took him to straight up shaft us.
That was a filler. That's all he was for them.
It just killed, because I mean, he would have been so much better than Josh Johnson against the Eagles. Oh man, we might have had a chance.
Oh, 100% better.
Yeah, brutal. All right, well, I'm not gonna cry. Hey, I know you gotta get going though. We're a little bit over time here. You got your brother in town, so be with family, real life over streams always. I appreciate you making some time from here today,
Oh,
Mike.
yeah, man. We
Good
haven't done
luck.
this in a while, so I had to do it.
Yeah, good luck against the Texans. I'll be
Enjoy your
rooting
bye
for
week.
you. Yeah. And I'll see you next Thursday.
Sounds good.
I'll say peace and go Niners.
Man, salute and